what we're doing here, first we have to load the route. So this time we configure the route, like a dashboard is there on the menu, if you will see. Okay, so here home, dashboard, right, users, movie list, some things are there. So we configured the routes, all route in the children itself, but you not have to worry regarding this. You can configure outside also. What we want in the children side means children, or don't worry regarding the children also, just we have to focus on the route parameter. Parameter means load the data dynamically. So whenever you have to pass the parameter, what we will do, we have to pass with the help of the colon and whatever value you want to load, you want to pass there. So here I want to load means here I want to pass the data, that is title. So what it will do actually, now come to the HTML page. So on HTML, movie list, yeah, this one. So on HTML, here we had configured the anchor tag. So in anchor tag, we are passing that complete detail of the movie, that is admin, and then we passing the movie lists, means this is your URL actually. So after that, here we are passing. Where is the TS page? Yeah. So module. So what we are receiving here, we want here title. So what we doing actually, we are passing the title by this way. Means after the comma, you have to pass the data. So now we are passing movie dot title. Suppose just imagine we are not passing this one. Be passing 1, 2, 3 or something. Okay. So now what happened? It will come 1 if you will click that movie. Now see. Now we got the movie list. If we will click any movie in the URL section, you can take care. Here you will get 1. That's 1 for all. Got it? It came 1. If you will go in any movie, it will give you everywhere 1. See that? It coming 1. But data is not coming because it not getting any data on that one. So what we doing here, we are passing the parameter by this way. So, but now I not want this 1, 2, 3, 4, anything. Means a hard coded value. What I want that data. Means this movie list, whatever data we getting, just go to the console. So see, here we are getting multiple data. Just open one data. Here we are getting some actor name and then generic. Wait, let me delete this. Yeah. Now, so we getting these all movie lists. And what we want data. So here you can see that in each movie, there is title, years, generis, rating, something, some details are there. Even you can get here 1, 2, 3, 4, that is a sequence number, index. So what we want, suppose I want to, when I clicking any of the movie list, I want that title of the movie. Means whatever title is there, I want that title. So what are we doing and how we will pass that? So already this is belonging to the object or array. What are you thinking? It belonging to object or array. So here it's showing 117. So outside you can see that this is the that array symbol, and inside that multiple objects are there. So what we will do, we will fetch the data. So that's why we had done first ng for, because in the array section you can do the ng for and you will get the data. And after that, with the help of this variable, movie variable, we can get the title. So that's why we can write here directly movie dot title. Movie dot title. So once you will pass movie dot title, what will happen? It will give the this detail in your URL. Whatever we are passing here, it will come here. Actually, what type URL going to generate? So see here, what is there? Movie list slash title, means a colon title. So in place of this variable, this is your variable. There is no any value right now. But when we will click the button, what will happen from the anchor tag? this route link, it will pass the data. And which data it will pass? So it will pass the movie dot title, means movie title. Whatever data it will got on the ng for, it will pass inside the router link. And that data, it will appear here. Means your final URL will be something localhost colon 4200 slash, and something on the top also it will come. Admin will come because we are coming from the admin side. So admin. So just consider this final URL. So what we will get here? Here we will get movie list and colon title. In place of colon title, this is your dynamic value. Okay. Each time this value will get changed. Now just focus. So suppose, see, up to here we got the data. Means up to here we got our URL up to movie list, and after movie list this will be the next route. Means when data will change, according to that the value will change. We are not going to do hard coding. You can go down completely and you can click, your data will appear here. Means this is the process by which we can load dynamic data like this type. This data is coming from the database side, means that is not hard coded. Okay, so this is known as the route parameter. By this way we can pass the data, we can pass the parameter with the route, and we can utilize that. And what we are doing and how we getting that particular value. When we passed this data, means then what we doing actually. So from the movie list, we are passing this data, and there is another component. And in that section itself, you can see when this the movie list is colon title will come, that time component have to load movie data component. And by default, movie list component was loading. So there was two separate component. So for getting the data on another component, you want some reference for that data. So what we doing actually, we are passing that data in the URL section. Otherwise, we have no any reference to get that details on the another page. So when we will click, we will get that detail on the another page. So via this URL, we can fetch that data. So what are we doing on the another page? Let's see. So movie data component.ts. Yeah. So on this, we are taking the route. Whatever URL you getting, I want that data. Means here in the constructed, we had injected that. This is the way of injection. Okay, we will learn this thing in the service, the dependency injection. So here this dot movie dot for each response, this is not required. Then here what we doing, this dot activated route, whatever route will come in the URL, that we taking dot param dot subscribe methods. What subscribe method will do, we will learn in the service. That's become too much clear. After that, we are getting some response. In the response, we are getting some data. Let's check one thing. Let's do console.log of the response and check what we getting there. Okay, some data came. This error is coming due to image is not found on this URL. That's why. Now click that. What we getting in the response? So some paramap, something is there. Open this completely. Then we getting here title. Why we getting title only? Because we had passed in the route parameter, which variable? Title variable. That's why we getting only title here. Got it? If you will pass a year, then you will get a year also. Let's do one thing. Means whatever data you will pass from there, you will get those all data. Let's pass that. Some more detail. comma movie dot, I don't know what is that year is there or not. I think it may be. Yeah, it is. Now you are getting only title. You will not get data on this page actually. Now go to that movie list and now click that. Click any movie. We will get error because we want this data, this route. So there is no any route like this. But how we can modify for showing purpose? 1 second. Where is the route? Title. We can pass the another data colon year. Now it will work because we are passing two data from there. One we are passing title and one we passed year also. And both data is not hard coded. That's why we passed with the help of the colon. This way we are passing a dynamic value. Now it worked. And what is your URL? URL become Dangal and 2016. Whatever movie date is there, years, that is coming. Now check in the param. What value you getting? So we getting title and year. Why we getting this two value? Because in the URL we had passed. And from where we getting this two value actually? So we getting, now let's go back. I not want that one. Yeah. So how we getting that value? See. Here, what we are doing in the console.log, we are taking response. From where that is coming actually, that is coming from the activated route. Okay, so whatever route are there in the URL section, that will come there. That's why we are getting that data. So this type, we are passing the data from the route side itself, and we can receive that and we can manipulate any activity. Clear? This was the route parameter. This was just revision of the previous itself. Now go to the query parameter. So this type we can pass the data, and whatever you will pass, that is the way of passing the data dynamically. So how to pass the parameter in the Angular route? See that. Here we was passing 1, 2, 3, 4. This was hard coded, but I not want to pass hard coded. We want a dynamic. That's why we had passed data in the ng for itself. Second thing, how to access the route? Whatever data we passed in the URL, whatever data is coming in the URL, how we can access that? So for accessing that URL, we have to go with the activated route service. Means how to access? First, we have to import that activated route from the Angular route. And after the import, you have to ingest that one inside the constructor. Where is constructor? Inside constructor. You can't write this ingestion process inside ng on init. Okay, you have to always inject in the constructor only. Ng on init will not it will give you error. Okay, so activated route service, it will help you in tracking the currently activated route. Whatever current activated URL is there, it will help you in tracking that one. So to use the activated route service, we need to import and inject into the component where we want to access the data. Means on that component, we will inject where we have to access the data from the URL. Means if you want, you can write that activated route constructor section in all component. It's not going to create the problem, but it will be helpful only on which component on which you want to receive the data. On that component only it will help. So what we're doing here, we had taken that component, means we had injected that activated component. After that, we have to receive that value, whatever we had injected. Now I want the data from the URL section. So for that, we have two ways. One is snapshot way and one is observable. What is a snapshot and what is observable? So snapshot will give you the initial value. Means using the snapshot property, we can access the route parameter, but it will always give you the initial value. Means you will not get the changed value. We can access the data. Means second thing, we have to access the param map array and retrieve the value of the parameter with the get method. Now check with the snapshot how it will work and what is the problem actually with a snapshot. Dot get, and what we will take here, we will take title. I think on this page, I don't know whether you can able no, actually component is going to change. That's why we can't get the output here. Where that I had, where was that examples actually? 1 second. Navigation bar, search query. Three different thing. 18, 17. Yeah. Okay, this output is there, product one. There is product, not in this. Let me make one component. UE ROUTE dash PARM. Data. Here is that component route param. product detail and products. Okay. I don't know whether it will work fine or not. Let's see. Given error. This also given error. Where is that? Product true slash parent. Okay. Product true. Here we getting ID. Now go to this component. Out parameter.html. What we passing here? We passing teacher also. Let's remove this. Let it to be this also. Go to this data. Make another route also. PER also. What we had written there. Route parameter.ts person. Fine. Let's see. We can get teacher parents. Fine. Yeah. So see now. So what we done actually for showing means that snapshot and subscribe method difference, we configured one separate component. Okay, that is route parameter component.ts. What other component is open? Let me remove this one. Let it be movie one admin. Yeah. So what we done actually? So in this route parameter component, we taken some data. Let's move on the HTML first. So here we had taken one router link and here we passing the data. Some more data are there. Okay. So when we will click this separate button, we will get the route configured accordingly. So just click that. So right now what we getting? We getting 3 and a student. So do one thing. Go on to teacher. Be getting 1 in the URL section. Be getting 1 and a teacher. Now click on the student. Be getting 3 and a student. Okay. So from where the data is coming? Data is coming from the HTML page. Whatever button we are clicking, these all are the hard coded value. Okay. And in the interpolation, we had binded the data, product ID and person. Product ID, here we getting that product ID and person. Person means whatever it's coming. Okay, wait, sorry. This one. The more data is there. Okay, table 1 is coming for that actually. So table 1, it will come according to the if condition. Here we had passed inside the that one. Okay, so now after configuring of route, we gone and configure the on our routing page. So what we done? We had taken one route, normal route, product detail means on this page, our complete data will get loaded. Means whatever data we are getting here, it will get loaded. After that, we configured the dynamic route. Why? For passing the data dynamically means per 3 buttons are there. One is teacher, parents, student, different buttons are there. Button or link, anything. And when we clicking according to that, data is going to be changed. For that purpose, we have taken we are passing different data. Okay. So next, what we are doing in the component.ts side. So here, right now we have taken subscribe. Let's comment this. And where is that? Product ID, take product person. Now see, what we had taken, we taken a snapshot method. Okay, this dot activated route. Where is the problem? Oh, okay. So here we taken the activated route and then we taking using the method snapshot for getting the data. Now let's see what is the problem actually in a snapshot. What happened? Cannot match any route URL product. Then what was that actually? The routing. Oh, sorry. That is product detail. Okay. So now we got the product detail. Now click that parent. What happened? We got the data parent and parent table. Now click the student. In the URL, you can see that changes are there, 3 and a student, but this side data is not going to change. Now click parent. In the URL, you can observe the data is changing, but on this side, data is not getting. Click teacher. See, URL data is changing, but here it's not because this is the snapshot. What we had used in the code, we had written this dot activated route dot snapshot dot paramap dot get id and whatever other data which we are passing the get person. So due to this snapshot actually it taking the screenshot type, means whatever we are taking a screenshot like that, it also work like that. So what it will do, it will take the initial URL, means what URL you will pass, means just when you will reload the page you will get the data. Product detail. Let me add one navigation bar itself. That will be better. Where is this navigation bar? Which navigation bar is this one? Table parent student. No, this is different one. I think on app component. Okay, from here that is coming. Yeah, so we got that. So now click that test, go to other one. Now come to the test one. So whatever URL will come in the initial stage, now what is a URL? Product details. Now click that any of the URL, means any of the button, you will get some URL changes. So now we got the 3 student table. So now see the URL. We got the data as a 3/student. Now if you will do any type of URL changes, if you will click any button, okay, this out of 3 button, your data will not get changed, but URL will change, but you will not get the latest data. Means it not giving you the latest one. What it will do actually, so whatever URL get generated on the initial state, it will take the snapshot of that one. Means it will take the picture of that one. After that, if you will reload the page, then only it will get change. Otherwise it will not change the data, but URL section it will change. You can see that now. So when we clicking that, URL is changing, but the data side it not changing because it taken the initial page data snapshot. Okay, so it not reloading, it not refreshing that URL data again and again. So this was the demerit of the snapshot. So it taking the initial page data. Now come to the our topic. Yeah. So this was the problem, and here you can see that it's a clicking, but data URL section is changing, but data is as usual. So how to rectify that and when it will be benefited? So suppose you want some data information on the initial stage, means first time itself. So that time you can use with the snapshot. So here everything is written, what is the merit and demerit of the snapshot. Okay, if you will change the route, we will not change the value. Means you can change the route again and again, value will not change. Now reload the page just to see what is happening. So now we reloaded the page and we got some data URL and some data is also there. Now click and check, but the same situations are there. See, now we getting the 3 and click again parents. We not getting the data, but when data will come, now go to the initial page, means a starting one. It came back on the top level. Now click teachers. We got the teacher data. Now click parent. We not getting any data. Means URL will change, but you will not get the data. So if there will be some requirement that when the page getting load, first time when the URL will hit, that data I want. So you have to work like this type. So you have to take that snapshot. Now, how we can refresh the data, means how we can get each data latest one. So for that one, we have to go with the subscribe method, means that observable that comes under the observable, and that is belonging to the actually RxJS library. So that is the way of one way using the property, means snapshot property to access the route parameter that we seen. Second, so here that code is written, everything, how we will get the data and those all. Next, using the observable, okay, we can access the route parameter. So in observable, what we have to do, this is just theory. If you want, you can study, otherwise no need. So in observable, what we can do, we will use the same way. This dot activated route, whatever route is there, we will first fetch that one. After that, we have to pass here param map and then subscribe method. Subscribe method actually what it doing, it getting the latest one, latest value, and it passing that, means it will subscribe like YouTube. If you subscribing any video, then what will happen, any YouTube channel, what will happen, whatever video or audio, whatever clips they are going to upload per day, if you are a subscriber, you will get the notification. So same thing is happening here. If you subscribing that method, it means that when the latest value will come, it going to subscribe and it going to pass the value, means it will receive the value, it will receive the notification. So same thing will happen when we will change the URL, it will update you with the latest record. So now we will modify the data. So just go through this line remaining in the bottom, that's not needed. So what we doing here, one second, let me remove this anyway, that's not need. Yeah, so this dot activated route dot paramap, whatever parameters are there, we are going to take. After that, subscribe method. So whatever latest update will come, it going to subscribe and then it will pass it to this variable. Let's save and let's see whether we getting the output or not. Compiling, compile success. Now click anything, parent, a student, teachers. Now see, the URL is also changing and data also changing because due to the subscribe method, we are getting the latest updated value. So what we had done, we had just here, we had subscribed that method. Means previously we was writing this dot activated route, whatever route is there, URL is there, that we have to take. And after that, snapshot, a snapshot method we was using, and then we have to paramap then dot get method. Here what we doing, activated paramap, okay, and then we have to subscribe the method, and data you are passing in the route side, parameter side, id, person, anything that we have to receive here. So like that we can get the latest record. So mostly when we are working on the application side, mostly we will use the subscribe method itself. But suppose that if there is a requirement for get initial value, so in that case you have to use the snapshot. And in interview they are asking that actually what is the difference between a snapshot and subscribe method. So keep in mind this thing.
Sir, initial stage in the sense whenever we are make any dashboard, and so whenever we are going to open the dashboards, that data should be initial stage it will become. So on that scenario, we will go for snapshot method.
No, snapshot method in the sense, suppose you want some data when the page is loading, that time itself. Suppose that you loading the application, okay, and your page get loaded, and you have to note down that at what time they had logged in your application. Suppose that some requirement like that, that when the user has logged in your website, you want that time. What you can do, you can go with the snapshot, you can fetch the record like that, we can do that. So initial page, whatever data is coming, whatever URL will load, means if there will be requirement, you can go by that one. Dashboard or this, that, that's not. Means first, according to URL, according to URL, if URL will change always, but I want the initial value only. So we can go with the snapshot and take the initial value. That's it. Clear? Having any issue in this route parameter?
No,
Then
sir.
tell me.
For me, no issue, sir.
And why we using that subscribe method? For getting the latest value. So keep in mind, because same thing will come in the service again, and that is belonging to the observable. Okay, subscribe is the method that is belonging to the observable.
Sir, what is observable vessel?
We will learn that in service. So here we can pass more than one parameter, because means like here we had seen that we can pass multiple parameter as much you want, like 3, 4, 5, whatever data you want, you can pass that, and all data according to your need you can receive and you can utilize that one. There is no restriction that you can pass only one data, two data. No, here you can see that ID also we are passing, person also. So why we are passing multiple data? And actually when it will be helpful, that when suppose you have to do some activity based on that data, so accordingly we can pass the data and we can receive on another component and we can manipulate according to our need, like a movie on that section itself. If we are clicking on this movie section, if we clicking on this movie section, what we getting, we got the all movie detail. But if we will click on movie, this movie, what will happen, the title came, movie title, and according to that movie title we are showing the record, we are comparing and we are showing. So how this data is coming, movie one. So see here, we are comparing here ng if equal to movie dot title equal to picture. Picture in the sense whatever data is available in your side. See that this dot movie, this one, this variable we are comparing. But here when you will use the subscribe method and a snapshot, you will not get more changes because anyway this page getting reloaded. That's why you're not getting more changes. But if you will work on the same component, that time you will see that problem. That's why we had created that new component, because on this you will not observe any changes. Fine. Let's move to the query parameter now. So whatever examples is there, it's already given in this one by one. You want, you can practice that. So next is query parameter. So query parameter actually it's like same type like route parameter itself. Whatever data we are passing in the route, same type we can do here also. So query parameter are optional parameter, okay, that we can pass through a route. They are added to the end of the URL with a quotation mark. So here, whenever you will pass interrogative sign, it means that that content become the optional in the routing area. Means if you will work on the backend and when you will create the route means API, so you can maybe you can pass something optional also. That's not compulsory for getting the data. So that time what is there, you have to pass for optional, you have to pass interrogative sign, okay, and whatever data you want you can do that. So difference between the route parameter and query parameter. So route parameter are required and is used by the Angular, okay, Angular router to determine the route, because when we passing this data, this route parameter, so we was getting the data, this was working on the router side, Angular router, but they are part of the route definition. By using the route parameter, we can get the parameter and pass in the router. We can access the data like that we was doing. Product was there, and here we was passing the product ID with a colon. And then whatever record will match, it will give you the data. So the router will not navigate to the product component route if the ID is not provided. Suppose we will not provide, just remove this one and let's see where we getting. So we got the error because that component is not found because there is no URL configured like that way. So when you will not pass that route, means the data you will not navigate on that one. So if the ID is not provided, it will navigate to product component instead. Means here we are passing same component actually. So that's why if the product route is not defined, then it will give you the error. Means if that route will not define, you will get the error. Same thing is happening in my case. Now movie list is there, and on this movie list there is no route defined. That's why you will get the error. So however, the query parameter are optional, but query parameter in the sense of query parameter, we will not get the error because this is the optional. So why we telling optional? Because in the URL you will see that you will get the interrogative sign. Go with the Amazon. See here, you getting interrogative sign, IE equal to some data, then equal to, do one thing, just remove this completely. Just see whether we getting error or something. Means on this there is no route is configured. That's why we got the error. Got it? But it will work. It's not going to create the problem in the application side. So the missing parameter does not stop the Angular from navigation to the route. The query parameter are added to the end of the URL separated by the question mark. We have to do that. And again, same thing we have to do. So use a route parameter when the value is required. Use query parameter when the value with the Angular parameter, Angular route. If some value is not means mandatory, if that is optional, you can go with the query parameter. Okay. So how to send the query parameter? Because query parameter are not part of the route, means we have to send that data. So we can send them using the query parameter directive or with the route navigate method also. So when using the query parameter, query params, sorry, query params directly, we have to specify the JavaScript object with what value we will pass the data. We have to pass in the value key and value notation. Okay, so let's say create something. Already I had created. I will go on that component. Now we will go again. There is some method again, same thing, a snapshot and observables. Here also it will work. Same thing. So what we're doing here, we configuring one route first. So search component, then we will pass the value in the URL. Okay, and we can access their value. So let's first where is the search parameter? Okay. What is the name of the URL is not there. Yeah. So what we had done, we had configured the route for that one. Where is route? Yeah. So first we configured the route. We created one component and we configured the route. That's it. And after that, we have to do everything on the search component itself. So for this, we have to first get from the route. Means what we have to do, whatever data is there, means whatever data we will get in this section, we have to fetch that data. So in the URL, we will pass some data. Okay. So what we passing? We are passing in the search that become my route, and after that we passing some optional data. Interrogative sign, country equal to India, name equal to Mohan, some detail we had passed. Let's click that. Go to the console. So whatever data we are passing in the URL, actually, so after that you have to get that data. So how we can get the data? So for getting the data, we will use again subscribe method or snapshot method. Both will work fine. So in the subscribe, in the snapshot, again same issue, initial stage, and in the subscribe, we will get the continue data. So same thing it will work. That's not, there is no any changes. So first we had taken that this dot activated route dot param map, okay, and then subscribe method. And here we are taking the response. So in the response, you can see that whatever data you will pass in the URL country, actually when it will come, when you doing some search field, like I close that image and one bit. Now just search here books. Now see in the URL section, you can see that data will come books. So on book basis, you got some search result book and CRID equal to something. Then some data again got generated. Means these all data it you will get from the search side. It will be helpful in the search area. From there, you can pass the data, that one. So whatever data we are passing here, actually, this we had done manually actually. So whatever data we passed here, you can observe here in the param maps. So what we had passed? We had passed country equal to India. It came in the key and value pair. Then again we passed the name equal to Mohan. It came in the key and value pair. And on UI also you can observe search result below. Country name is India. Then again username equal to Mohan. One more is there, price. But we are not getting the data in the price. Do one thing. Now pass. So first we have to give interrogative sign. Okay. And after that, why we passing country only? Why not any other data? So see, because whatever data you will pass there, the work of this activated route to get that one. Okay. Whatever we will pass, we will get that. That's it. So second thing, suppose it will come in the form of the key and value. So key and value means you have to tell what you passing there. Like here we had written country, then we had written name, then we had written price. Means right now we are getting fixed data. We are not changing the data. We are getting just fixed one. So first is the country, name, price. If you will not pass any data, suppose any data got missed, it's not going to create the issue. And after that, this data, whatever we getting, be binded on the interpolation, be binded on the UI with interpolation. There is no any new thing. Same thing you can pass here from the database side also, or even from the user search also. Whatever user will search, you can pass here. Like that way also we can do that. So second thing, this is the way of accessing the data. Means what user is passing country, name, price. These three things. So how we will access the data? So that accessing data, we can pass here search interrogative sign. Then you have to give country. We passed here country. After interrogative sign, I passed country. Let's do one thing, press enter, and let's see what data we are getting in the param. So what data we got? We got a country equal to India. Let's change this value. UK. Let's see what we getting. So we got UK. Means whatever data you will change, it will come there. But see, we passed only UK country only. But where is this data? Name, price, this data is also there. But as a starting time itself, I told interrogative sign in the sense that is optional. It is not compulsory. If you will not pass, you will not get the error. If you passing, you will get the data. So now I passed one data. Now I want to pass another data, means another record. What we will do? We will pass the interrogative ambition symbol. Okay, that is or. Then what data is there? What we had written actually in the response dot get name. So pass name and equal to Ramu. Okay, let's see we getting the data or not. So we got the Ramu. Suppose again you passing here and some detail. Let's say do one thing, pass any data and see whether we getting in the console or where we getting that data. So see, now we get that data, whatever we passed there, detail colon none. Means you can pass any data that we will get. But for printing that data on UI, what you have to do? You have to get that whatever records is coming. That's why here we had written something price, means whatever data we will pass that will belong to the price itself. But you can write anything, that's not an issue, because whatever data we will pass here we will get. Suppose when it will work, now see in the real time, suppose from the input box is there, and from input box you are passing some data in the where in the URL. Okay, you passed some data. After that you have to receive, suppose that movie detail, movie name, then because user is going to search the movie name, so movie name equal to Dangal. Now press enter. So let's check in the you means console, because we had printed response completely. So what we got? We got movie name equal to Dangal. What we will do now? Now you can compare with this movie name with your complete record, and you can fetch the data as like now we are doing in ngIF. Movie dot title equal to we are comparing. See, right now what we are doing, we are comparing here movie dot title equal to picture. Same thing we can do from the user search also. Means user will search that, and then we can bind the data, we can get that data. Means this is the way of a query parameter for accessing the record. Got it? So whatever data you will get, you can verify that. Means actually what is happening, whatever backend teams are working, they will make the API like this way. Means optionals they will make. Once you will pass the data, whatever data is required, you will pass from the UI, you can fetch the record. Like this type, the API going to create. They are creating the API. Means this data will be your optional, but there you will get something that you have to pass detail, means name of the movie, name of the student, name of the actor. So you will get the perfect result. Same time, if you going to the Amazon, you can pass here. Suppose books you passing. So when you passing books, you will get that record itself. Books in all category. Okay. Now here you can see that where is the filter one. Wait. Yeah, that where is that? Yeah. So here we got the brand. Okay. So now we are selecting OnePlus, Boat, Realme. This three thing. Where is the filter applying condition? Automatic it will come. Okay. We are doing. So actually, it's I don't know how we have to search here. There is no any button. I think it loading automatic. Okay, but here what we are passing? We passing three value. OnePlus, Boat, Realme. Means these all three value will go to the database and search the record on the basis of this one. So this will help you in the query parameter side. This type we are configuring that. See that in the bottom you can see we are getting one URL. There you can see that boat and whatever different ID are there. All IDs are going with the ampersand symbol then equal to. Means your ID will be movie name suppose be passed. You want another value. Give the another and okay and pass it here. Suppose mobile mobile equal to Oppo. Okay. Now press that enter. You can get the value here. Mobile equal to that and movie name equal to. So whatever you will get the data, according to that data, you can work with the database side. Means you can compare the record and you can give the output. Got it? Means anyway, you got data in the console. If you in the console means you can manipulate that and you can pass anywhere. So this type, this query parameter actually it will work. Remaining all things are same, whatever we discussed, like a snapshot, how it will work. Then with that subscribe method means observable, how it will work, where you will get the problem. Those all things is written. Here it is showing that example that when we will search, what will happen like that. Clear? So what you can do, I giving you one task, make one input field. Open Paint. Make one input field. This is for the search. Enter search value. Okay. And once you will enter the value, what have to happen? Whatever data you passing here, actually that will go to URL. it will go to the URL. Means it will come like localhost colon 4200 / suppose you had searched movie colon ABC. Okay, so you had passed the data movie colon ABC, means in the search you can pass any data. So whatever you passing, it will come in the URL. Second thing, so this is your UI page, and here you have to CHED searched result. Got it? So whatever you will enter, it will come to URL, and that data you have to fetch. Means it will go there, and whatever data is there, this one you have to display on your UI. This thing you have to do. We already shown you how we can fetch the data from the route side 4200, whatever number will be there. So just make one input field, pass the data in the route, just see how we can pass the data, and after that just try to fetch that record. Clear? Or having any doubt? So this was your query parameter. Now come to guard.